Hi everyone, welcome and welcome back. This is Holly from Hot Humble Pie, and today I am bringing you some super cute Halloween DIYs. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you click that button. For this project, I'm using these 9 balloon size measurement tools. They're awesome, you guys. Look for them in Dollar Tree. They make a great addition to your crafting stash because there's all different size circles there and they make great templates. So I'm using cardboard for this, and I chose 2 of those sizes I guess that I thought would be a good fit for what I'm going to do next, and I painted them black. Next, I'm using the Dollar Tree bottle brush tree right there. Isn't that pretty? I love that one. And then this is the one I got this year. You can see the little nasty red sticker, which means the price went up, but it's still a good deal at $1.50. It's still a really great deal for that. And then I went ahead and removed the tags. And then the bottom of the wood just screws in so you can unscrew it. Next, you're going to be poking a hole in the middle of your cardboard. And because I kept the cardboard thin, I didn't really need to add anything on the edge, and you won't really need to with this craft anyway. Well, if you do it like I did it, you won't need to. And yes, we are making little bottle brush witch hats. Is that not awesome? Oh my gosh. I was so excited to share this with you guys because the way they bend, you can literally bend these into like little Dr. Seuss type shapes. It's so cute, and you can make your little witch hat do whatever you want it to do. But because the cardboard was thin, I did need to snip off a little bit of that bottom. I'm showing you right there, and I have those really awesome metal snippers, and easy to do. The other option is if you didn't want to do that, you could just make the bottom of the witch hat thicker, and that would work too. But I didn't want to bother doing that. I just wanted to keep them really thin. And of course, I'm bending them into shapes that I think will look cute for this project. Next, I'm using this decorative moss, also from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start decorating my hat. Now, I had an idea to make these bottle brush hats, right? And I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to be so cute. But I really had no concrete vision of what I was going to do or how I was going to decorate them. They're little trees, and I thought a nature theme would be totally appropriate. But I was thinking more along the lines of like the dead grass look, right? Like the Spanish moss or Excelsior wood and some purples and blacks and berries. And then I want to do a shout out here to Jody at Southern Seasons. It's a channel on YouTube. She's the one definitely who inspired me to go with a greener look, use actual moss and just go for it. So what I ended up, in my mind, what I'm thinking, you guys, because I am very imaginative and creative, I have fun with this stuff, is I'm thinking there's these little cute witches flying. They lose their hats. Maybe they're chasing each other, right? The hats fall off into the magical forest. And then after a while, the nature starts to take them over. They start to become one with nature, so they get covered with the lichen, the moss, branches, whatever, just something like that. I know it's silly, but I love that. So I end up covering this, and I do end up gluing the wood piece on. By the way, I screwed the wood piece onto these, and I found it kept coming off, so you will need a little hot glue. I think it works better. If you're going to put you don't have to put the wood piece back on. You could just bend the wire and glue it down and cover, or sandwich it between 2 cardboard pieces. I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to do that. And I am taking here Excelsior grass. I twirled it around a paint stick. This is the first time I've ever done that, and it curled. I couldn't believe it, so I wanted to leave that in and show you guys because I was really surprised it curled. And I'm using the pip berries from Dollar Tree right there, and I'm covering it. So with the other hat, I do 2 colors of moss. I do the green and I do the Spanish moss. And I ended up picking up the other hat and doing the same thing too, because I thought, oh, that looks really cute, just the multiple colors. So I'm showing you here, I did end up putting the other Spanish moss on top of it to copy this hat right here. And then again, nature's taking over these hats. So I just start spitting the Excelsior grass down. I actually, looking back at this, think I should take some of the reindeer moss, the brighter green moss, and like tuck it in between this one, because that particular bottle brush tree isn't as dense and there's lots of room in between. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, but I felt like little pieces of moss kind of hanging, gracefully down in between the little branches might be really, really cute. So then I take berries here, and I'm using these right here. I got these from the Dollar Tree, these picks. They're very pretty, but the leaves are too big. But I when I was done with these, I thought, you know what? I had glued pine cones on them. I had glued white. You can see it. It didn't have the pop of Halloween colors, and I really wanted autumn. I wanted the pop of fall. So I definitely started putting some orange in there. I did an orange flower on the bigger hat and the leaf, and that's what we have so far, just little pine cones. And then this little tiny wood bead. I think I got that at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just putting that, these are Dollar Tree white flowers here. You can buy them during the summertime. I did end up putting a wood bead into the middle of each one of those flowers, and then I also had some of these yellow berries that came off of some fall leaves that are the one right there in the camera. See those fall leaves? It's a garland. I bought a couple of those, and there were some berries on them that I stole, and I put them on there. And this is what we end up with when we're all done. Now, I really wanted to use a branch like the other channel did. And by the way, I will leave her link down below in my description box. Be sure to check out her video because she does her witch hats completely different. I mean, they're decorated very similar because obviously I liked it. I was inspired by it. I wanted mine to look like hers. Very similar. But she makes the hats completely different. I think it's worth watching. But anyway, here's the reindeer moss. I'm just going to go ahead and spin it down the Dollar Tree candlestick. But when I went and cut my branch, there was real lichen on it and what I think is mold. So I sprayed bleach on it. I kept spraying, and it just still felt slimy. And I thought, these are way too wet. I'm not going to be able to work with these. I'll have to save them for next year. So I hot glued these on top of these candlesticks sideways, kind of at an angle, so they look like they're flying a little bit. Here we are. I'm all done, and I love these. I think they are so cute. They are such a conversation piece. Let me know what you think. I grabbed one of these LED pumpkins and I am cutting off the outside mesh, and it comes off pretty simple. It's like it's shoved down in the center of the pumpkin form there. And then this is the box from the Dollar Tree. I'm showing you, I'm just going to use that lid on the top. But another option that would make it a super fast, easy DIY, like a 5-minute one, is you could just use the lid off of this, and then the whole thing will have like a silvery look to it. You'll see. But that's another option. Then I peeled off the top little paper thingy and I just squirted some Apple Barrel black paint on it, and I ran out of the Apple Barrel black paint, so I just finished it with the chalk paint in ink. And it just goes to show with strong pigment paints, you can absolutely skip getting the chalk paint because the coverage is usually really good, especially black. And then I just put it down in the center more or less, and I traced it with a pencil so that I could see, you know, the lead from the pencil. And I glued a circle, and I'm just popping the pumpkin back on. Now, I was raised around a bunch of doctors. I come from a family where they would talk about medical stuff over Thanksgiving dinner. So I do not find skulls or skeletons spooky at all because that's what we look like. So I think they're funny. And I found that skull last year for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. If it comes out this year, it's probably going to be $1.50. I'm guessing. It might not be, but I'm just warning you. And if you want to make your skulls silly, like if you're really trying to make like a silly spooky, because you don't want it overly spooky, you can always put flowers inside the eyes or put a silly pirate patch on. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to make him not scary if you have young kids, although I don't think they're that scary. I also am that person, you guys, that will pick the spider up in my house and put it outside. Like there's just certain things that I don't consider scary. They shouldn't be. It's not fair. And skeletons and spiders are one of them. And Casper the Ghost, witches, vampires, are all like pretend, like fantasy stuff. And so they don't scare me. I think they're silly and fun. But anyway, I just put the Spanish moss down and I glue it on top of one of the Dollar Tree candlestick holders. And now I'm taking some of the bendable, it's actually like a reed you can buy on Amazon. I have it in my description box. It's made for basket weaving, but it comes in really handy for edges like this. So I'm just gluing it around the outer edge of the cardboard lid to make it a little bit more finished. It's a nice option. And that's it. And then I decide to take the roses out because I just want to go with a different look here. I don't know why, but when I was doing this DIY, I got the vibe of Harley Davidson. I thought we need to make like a studded belt around the bottom of this. That would look so cool. So I ended up taking wooden half beads, gluing them on, and then I need to make those a little metallic too because the rest of him is metallic. The skull is, the candle holder is. So I just took a little bit of that metallic paint and in silver. You can get it at Walmart. And I'm just brushing it over the beads to make them pop, and a little bit on the reed as well. And I do change my mind when I craft, because obviously if you do this, it would be easier to do this part right here before you put the Spanish moss in, right? So even though I wanted this to be all metal, I wanted that to be the vibe, I just felt like the top of this, the little silver pumpkin was missing something. So I took a fishnet stocking, or part of one, and you could also use creepy cloth for this, by the way. And I'm just tying, like, well, you can see what I'm doing. I just wrapped the stem a little bit, and then the pieces that were hanging off, I'm gluing it down the side. And we're going to top it with one of those purpley spiders that sparkle. And I did choose the orange sparkly roses from Dollar Tree. Now, the reason I didn't show that is because, as you can see, I also changed my mind. I thought, no, we're sticking with the Harley Davidson look here. We're going with the black sparkly roses, and I put it on either side of this little skull head. And then I looked at it again. I thought, you know what? All this iridescent metallic thing is going on. You need to light up. So I grabbed some of these fairy lights. This is a great deal. It's down below in my description box. I also tag it in my video. You get a package of 12 of these for like $9.98. I think they're on sale now too, but they're often on sale. And so what a great deal. What a great deal. And I just used the top silver lid here to wrap it around in a wreath shape, and I'm going to go ahead and put that down at the bottom where he's just circled. Again, I kind of think that just I didn't want to twirl it all around in the pumpkin, because if we're going Harley Davidson style, you just have to kind of circle the skull with the lights. And then I took the part, the controller. I'm just going to use this double-sided foam super glue sticky tape, and it really works well for sticking the little controller in inconspicuous places. I'm sticking it underneath the base there, and I think for the amount of time, it probably took me about an hour to make this. That might have been because I was changing my mind a lot, but I think for the amount of time that it took me to make this craft, it's one of those that makes a huge statement, and it makes an awesome Halloween craft. Here's a super fun one, sure to be a family pleaser. If you have kids or grandkids, this would be so cute in the house. You are going to need some of the Dollar Tree thicker plaques that can kind of stand up on their own. And I'm using these cards that I got from Temu last year. And when you buy from Temu, these kind of images, they do tend to come in a pretty big pile, so I like to use them up. And look at how cute these are. They're like vintage. They remind me of my childhood. Such fun memories of dressing up and eating candy, warm fall evenings, the sweet air. We actually used to go to the church parking lot and have trick-or-treat trunk, where all the parents would like hang out on beach chairs, back their cars into the parking lot, and keep candy in the trunk. So you went like car to car to trick or treat. It was really cute. They went out of their way to try and make it fun for the kids. So anyway, I'm taking some of the black paint here, and I'm just edging around I'm making like a little, see how I'm going over the corners of the image? I want to hide the sharp corners just by using a little extra paint, and I'm pouncing it with my sponge, and I also did the sides. And of course, if you don't have these cards, it's no big deal. Now they have so many resources online, like Clipart is free. You can find tons of Halloween vintage prints like this all day long. So just go hunting, have fun. The Graphic Fairies is also a fun place to look for imagery. And there's also AI. You can ask it to create something that's vintage like this. But then you're going to take these plaques and you're going to glue them where one is in front and one is in the back. And I've seen so many people make little square pumpkins like this for fall, and I thought, how cute would it be to make like a square pumpkin for Halloween, because it's kind of just the fact that it's square, it's just kind of edgy. I thought that was so neat. So I started off using some garden stakes. They're little pieces that are left over from when I cut them. I glued them together thinking this would be a great stem, and I paint it with a brown paint, and then I do burnt umber over the top to do some shading. And you'll see I change my mind again as we go. A bunch of people ask me to leave my mistakes in so they can learn from that as well or get additional ideas, so I'm trying to do that now. And I'm taking some more raffia. For those of you that follow my channel, you know I love raffia during fall. It just spells autumn. I just love that hay look. And I'm taking some of the Dollar Tree ribbon right here. All I did was glue the ends together, and then I'm going to squish it down and then crunch it in the center and tie it with some of the wire that I actually save that comes out of the wire bows. So if you cut this ribbon, you see the wire hanging out, don't throw it away, pull it out and save it. It's wonderful for making bows because it's super small and thin and discreet. You don't see it. And I also save the petals from, like, if I use a rose and I don't want the petals, I'll save it. Those are some black petals from last year's Halloween florals from the Dollar Tree. And I took one of the little pumpkins that you can get at the Dollar Tree this year, and I glued it in the center. And here's where I changed my mind, you guys. I end up taking some of the sisal rope and spinning it around because I just felt like the stem didn't stand out enough. It gets lost in the raffia and the bows. And I'm taking some more of the pit berries from Dollar Tree and spinning it around the top just to give it that little pumpkin curly cube. And you do have to glue the sisal rope, or you could use nautical rope in between each one of the loops if you want to stay together. And lastly, but not leastly, I took some of the Excelsior grass and I bent it in half, and I'm just going to stick it in the bag so it like sprays out behind the bow. And we're all done, and we have a little Halloween pumpkin, and I think this is so cute and so fun. It's the imagery on it, right? Look at that. I hope the picture does it justice, because in person, my husband loved this one. It is so striking because of the imagery on it and how heavy it is when you pick it up. It just is a high quality piece, and look how fun it is. It is so festive. I actually decorate for fall halfway through August, and then October 1st, I start mixing my Halloween decorations in between my fall stuff, and of course at the end of October, I take it all down and we move into Christmas. But anyway, let me know which one was your favorite in today's video. If you had fun and enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and here's another video that you might enjoy watching next.